Hi, I'm Allan,
And I'm Russell,
and this is Popculture Pontification.
the show where we talk about stuff and things and whatever else.
This is very descriptive.
Yeah.
That time. I feel like the quality of our descriptions about what we talk about is going down like week to week until it's like, Popculture Pontification. Yep.
Yeah. That's the name of the show.
It sure is. Nailed it in one.
Well, we're sort of getting into the swing of things now, and I don't want to oversell it.
You just want to we come in with low expectations, then we'll blow their minds.
Yeah.
They'll be like, whoa, it's amazing.
Yeah, they'll be like, I guess I'll listen to this.
It's like, stuff? I mean, I got plenty of stuff in my life already, but I guess I can listen to some more. Whoa, this is amazing!
It's all about pop culture topics. I love those.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Alright, but speaking of pop culture, I got a couple of things. Last week, you had a lot to talk about, and I didn't have that much to talk about.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've swapped roles now, so I'm going to kick things off.
I got a couple of quality items.
You got a couple of quality
menu.
items. You're more quality. I've definitely got the quality. I did that backwards. You've got the quality. I've got the quantity. So how about we start off with me?
Go for it.
A very exciting thing came in the mail for me this week.
In the mail?
In the mail, yes. And it was a thing I kickstarted for Rooster Teeth. It was the laser team.
Was it that dick thing?
No, it's not dick figures. That's another thing I
Okay.
kickstarted.
Right.
I kickstarted a lot of things.
Okay.
Anyway, no, this was a movie that the Rooster Teeth team made.
Who are the Red versus Blue?
Red
people?
versus Blue guys, yeah. That's their overarching company is called Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
And they decided to make a feature-length film, live-action feature-length film.
Right.
Called Laser Team, and I kickstarted it, and some of the merch I got from the Kickstarter has just started coming in. So
Have you seen the movie?
I have not seen the movie, but the world premiere, outside of the US premiere, is happening in Melbourne.
Oh, like it's actually at the movies.
Mm-hmm. It's at a cinema in Melbourne, and it's going to happen in January.
Cool.
But it's happening right before the Rooster Teeth convention is happening in Sydney.
They have a convention?
Yeah.
In Australia?
They do, because you know how Penny Arcade,
Yeah.
their first international convention happened in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's called PAX AU.
We were there.
We were there. Both of us were there. The Rooster Teeth guys have a convention, and their first one is happening in Sydney, and it's called RTAU, is what it's called. So they're really RTAU.
Those are my initials, not the AU bit. The RT.
The RT is your initials, yes. So they're really just... It's becoming a thing.
What do they
a big
do?
Convention. What do they do? What do you mean?
At their convention, is it just like
Well,
PAX? It's just games and that?
I've never been.
But do they just sit around and watch Halo Machinimas?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's not like Penny Arcade. The only thing they do there is draw comics.
No. Wow.
They do lots of different things.
So it's just for fans of Rooster Teeth to...
I would guess so, yeah. And there's like a bunch
Roosters
of...
don't even have teeth.
You never figured out why they call themselves Rooster Teeth.
No.
Because it's cockbite. See? It'll blow your mind a little bit there. Yeah. But I'm going to the Rooster Teeth convention in Sydney in January, and you're not. So that's going to lead to interesting things. Because you didn't even know it existed until just now.
Well, maybe I'm going to buy a ticket right now.
It's already sold out. You're out of luck.
Ow.
But yeah, so I'm going to be there. And I don't know whether the level I pledged to in the Kickstarter will allow me to go see the movie or not. But hopefully it will.
It'd be a bit shit. How many
What,
people
like
go
the
to this
movie? Or the
convention?
bit shit? How many?
Yeah.
I think their last count in Austin was 30 grand. 30 grand's worth of people? 30,000?
30,000 people? Or
Yeah.
How do you value a human life?
I just said 30 grand because I'm a fucking
Surely
idiot.
one human is worth more than $30,000.
Probably organs-wise.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Healthy liver, kidneys, that kind of
That
stuff.
implies you've got a healthy liver and kidney though.
Yeah. And how healthy are Rooster Teeth fans, really?
That's it. That's the question. Bit mean, Russell.
I'm just salty because I can't go to the convention.
Well, you could go. You just won't get in.
So, you pledged to kickstart this movie.
Yes.
You don't even get a copy of the movie.
I will when it eventually is released on physical media.
Right. So it's having a theatrical run.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know whether the level I backed guarantees me a seat at the premiere.
I see.
So yeah, I don't know. But hopefully. Because I've got some of the merch now and I haven't seen the movie. But we also got something else in the mail today, didn't we? Not today, this week.
Did we?
We did the things.
The figures.
We got the little figures.
Yeah, our D&D figures.
Yes, because you and I played D&D together, along with my girlfriend and some friends of ours.
Yeah.
And we got sick of not having little figurines, so we went to a little...
I don't know that we got sick of it.
I got sick of it.
It would be cool to have little figurines.
It is. Well, I'm the DM.
Yeah.
And I got sick of not having figurines, because I got very confused.
I did like your orcs.
My orcs, yeah.
The last battle, which
you guys
little black stones.
You guys were fighting like 8 orcs, and I just put them on the table, little black tokens, because I didn't have anything else. And then I was just like, halfway through the battle, I was like, okay, so it's Orc 4's turn.
Yeah.
Which one is Orc 4? Is that Orc 4? No, that guy's Orc 4. And which ended up with like some orcs taking 2 or 3 goes around, and then some orcs just sitting there chilling out.
You were like 3-card Montying yourself, basically.
I was. It was very confusing. But the fact is, Hero Forge is like a website where you custom design using interchangeable components these little figurines, and then they get 3D printed and they get sent to you.
Yeah, they're pretty badass.
They are pretty badass, and I think they were pretty reasonably priced to get them.
Yeah, I think so.
To get them made and sent here, considering the detail on them, was about $30 Australian.
Yeah, that's alright.
A piece, which is pretty good.
Mm.
You know, reasonable. Nobody's paid me for them yet, so that you're not getting them.
Well, you didn't tell me it was $30 until just now.
I told you on the group. Anyway, but that,
anyway,
I did, but I can't prove it right now.
Convoluted financial affairs.
Yes, in regards to various things aside, they're very cool, and I have no idea how we're going to get them painted because they're super tiny and detailed.
Magic, obviously.
Yes. I'm not going to pay anybody to do it. So you guys will have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have a figure for my campaign. Because I'm the DM, I don't have a figurine.
When are your custom orc figurines?
My various orc
printed
figurines.
on their shields.
If I had, like, an excessive amount of money and nothing to do with it, I think I could make, like, figurines for the campaign.
Yeah.
I
think you should.
It's very versatile website.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to, though.
No.
Because I'm not paying.
An excessive amount of money.
I don't have it. Well, not that excessive anyway.
No.
So that's all I got to talk about in regards to things being mailed to my house.
Well, in things being mailed to my house news, I got a speeding fine.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How bad in you and your awesome ute? You don't even have the excuse of it being in your old Skyline. Oh, I was driving my Skyline. Oh, it's so hard to not go fast.
No, 70 in a 60 zone costs you $200.
Ah, Jesus, that'll do it. So, was it worth it? Was it worth getting to the place you got to on time?
Wow, I was just going home.
So it's not even like you're in a rush.
No.
Did you get that moment? Did you see like the flash?
No, I didn't. When it turned up, I was really shocked.
Oh, really?
Because I've been good.
Would you consider that like to be the better way of handling it? What? Would you rather see the flash and get that hollow feeling, that empty feeling, is something? Oh fuck! I just got done.
Yeah, I think I'd rather the
delightful.
Oh, fuck.
I would prefer the delightful surprise.
No, it's not a delightful surprise. Like, I got home, after a shitty day, and I opened the letterbox. I'm like, I got some... Oh, no.
But I hate, like, getting flashed, and then you gotta wait, like, 2 weeks to see whether they actually got a decent enough picture of you to find you, or...
Yeah, but then you still have hope.
Yeah, but it's still, like, sitting in the back of your mind. It's troubling you until, like, it comes. I don't know. There's arguments, either way. I've come to the conclusion that we can't agree on anything in regards to these sort of things. We're always arguing.
This is a fine pop culture podcast where...
It is, talking about you getting a fine in the mail.
Yeah. That same night, though... see this nice segue?
It's a sweet segue, yeah.
That same night, I was in a bad mood, and so I watched Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Yes. Now, Mad Max, the first movie, both you and I watched. Yeah. And I had a hilarious time because it was awful. It's not awful. The quality of it was laughable.
Yeah. It was pretty low budget.
It was very low budget. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And the plot was a bit incomprehensible.
It was a very confusing plot.
Yeah. Mad Max 2 was a bit higher budget.
Now, which one's Mad Max 2? It's Fury... what's it called? Mad Max...
Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Yes.
Is there a Mad Max? Is there a third one?
Yeah,
Beyond
yeah.
Thunderdome. Beyond that was the one I was trying to remember. Yes.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden Mad Max is in America for some reason.
I haven't got that far yet.
I don't know if he's in America, but I think a suspicious amount of people have American accents in that film that's supposed to be based in Australia.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah?
It wasn't a masterpiece. Like,
was it?
Fury Road.
Was it better than the original?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was much more apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm. Because
the first one kind of looks like he's just in the outback.
It does look like he's just in the outback.
He probably is.
He is. Well, he absolutely is in the outback, but it just feels like it's just normal society in the outback.
Yeah.
There's not really an apocalyptic feel to it.
No.
Do you
Number
think?
two
Do you
nailed
think?
that a lot better.
Do you think like when they made the first movie, like they never really went, "Oh, this is after the apocalypse." They were just like, "Let's make this movie," and then after they made it, they were like, "You know, we could really easily spin this to be apocalyptic."
Yeah, this world's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Like to the rest of the world, Outback Australia is apocalyptic.
Yeah. I think the first one was like mid-apocalypse happening.
Oh, it was like in transit to the apocalypse. Yeah. In transit, Mad Max, they drive around a bunch.
Jesus, that was weak.
It was pretty weak.
Yeah. But then, like by the time they get to number 4, it's just yellow desert in Namibia somewhere.
Did they not film that in Australia?
No.
Didn't they?
No.
They had a lot of Australian actors in it.
Yeah, they did. They just shipped them over to Namibia. And then ripped up the desert.
Just film it in the desert in Australia. Surely that would be easier.
It's probably way more expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just seems like... Oh, we could film it on location in the country this is supposed to be in. Or we could take all these Australians and take them to the other side of the world to film this movie in another desert that looks visibly indistinguishable from the desert that's in Australia.
Well, I don't know that it does. Not that I've been to the desert in Australia.
Well,
Namibia, for that.
I've definitely not been to the desert in Namibia.
Yeah, but I don't imagine that's what Australia looks like. Even in the desert.
I think deserts are pretty interchangeable. Like deserts.
I don't think they are.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's the sand's documentary.
The sand's probably different.
You get David Attenborough saying, this desert, blah, 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 and then it switches to something completely different. This is a completely different desert, blah, blah, blah.
I think sand is indistinguishable from sand.
That's very sandist of you.
I think on film, like as you're driving by at 100 kilometers an hour, or 60 miles per hour, whatever you want to do it as, I think sand looks like sand.
Listeners, I encourage you to Google image search Australian desert and Namibian desert and make up your own minds.
I shall not do that until I edit this audio and get curious while I'm editing the audio and look it up and realize that I'm either a genius or a fool.
Well, I think we know which one it is. Anyway, yes, Mad Max 2, it was quite enjoyable. It was pretty violent.
Would you recommend it?
I would, yeah.
Do you think that you need to watch Mad Max in order to enjoy Mad Max 2? Or is it a bit of a standalone?
Yeah,
do they describe who Max is and why he's mad in the second one?
Yeah, at the start it like shows you like his family getting killed or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Well, spoilers, but yeah. That's the
spoilers
reason.
For Mad Max 1.
That's the reason why he's mad in Mad Max 1.
Yeah.
It's like his wife and kid get killed.
Yeah.
Then he goes on a campaign for revenge.
Yeah.
I do remember us watching the special features when we first watched Mad Max, and we watched the trailer, and the trailer encompassed the entire plot of the movie.
That's how they did trailers back in like the 70s.
Like included the death of the main bad guy.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
Yeah. That's what people want to see.
I was like, oh, okay, now I know exactly what to be prepared for when I go watch that movie. Yeah. Okay, but in regards to things fighting and exploding and such what?
I feel a segue coming on.
This is a very forced segue. We're not very good at segues, are we? No.
It will get better with practice.
No, I hope it doesn't, because at the moment they're hilarious.
Remains incredibly awkward.
Hilariously awkward and awful.
Speaking of images portrayed on a screen,
I got into 2K's new, what's it called? MOBA?
Well, possibly.
I think it's a MOBA, yeah.
Yeah.
New MOBA. I got into the closed technical test of Battleborn, which is a new MOBA that's coming out.
Did you find out the subtitle?
It doesn't have one. It's just Battleborn closed technical test.
I see.
It's not available to play. I think it comes out either tonight or tomorrow. Probably not going to enjoy it because I don't play any sort of MOBA.
Well, I think it's still like a shooter, but
maybe
like the objectives in the game are more like Dota or LoL.
Which is kill the other team and blow up their base?
I'm not getting into this.
That is. I haven't seen a lot of Dota, but from every of the thousands of LoL games I used to see my housemates playing, the entire goal is get to the other side of the map and blow up the big crystal thing in the middle of the base. The end.
There's more to it than that.
No, that's it.
Okay, we'll go with that.
No, what? What am I missing out on? What? You're going to kill the other players?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the basic theme.
You acquire loot and...
by killing players and minions.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, you can simplify any game down that much if you want to.
Yep.
But it's not helpful
as a
description.
Yeah, but that's every MOBA.
At an extremely basic level, yeah.
I suppose every first-person shooter is run around, pick up guns, shoot guys.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Call of Duty and Doom and Operation Flashpoint are all just the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Interchangeable.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm in that, and I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I thought, like, they sent me an email, 2K, because I play, like, one of my favorite game series is...
Borderlands.
My favorite game series is Borderlands, as evidenced by the fact...
One of my favorite game series is...
Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. Anyway, so I'm on, like, their Shift, which is, like, their online community. I'm a member of that, so they sent me an email. I was like, would you like to participate in this? And I was like, I guess. So I was like, what gender are you? Are you white? Where are you from? Okay, we'll let you know. It's basically this gist of it. It's like,
really want to know your ethnicity?
I can't remember, but that's what it felt like. It was just very basic details. Are you male? Where are you from?
Yeah.
Are you playing on a computer? All right, we'll let you know. Okay, you're in. And I thought I was very, like, special and stuff until I posted it on Facebook. Oh, I got into this closed technical test. That was very exclusive. And my girlfriend was like, oh yeah, me too. Because she's on Shift as well.
Well, you can play together.
Possibly, yes. We'll see what happens. See if I even like it. See if it even runs. I don't know. Maybe it won't.
Well, go into it with an open mind.
I will.
Yeah.
Because it's not usually my style of game. Because I don't enjoy getting... I like being the sole hero, and I get to, pace myself and all that sort of stuff.
You hate people.
I don't hate people.
They slow you down.
They set...
Well,
they either speed me up or slow me down.
Yeah.
And, that's not really my style. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Speaking of awkward segues...
Yes, awkward segue.
Yes. There's a show just come on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
British...
You didn't tell me it was British when we talked about this before we started recording.
Well, I said I only had 3 episodes a season, didn't I?
No. You told me nothing.
Listeners,
you told me the name of it.
Black Mirror,
which has
been put on Netflix.
Which is chick flick?
No.
No, in my mind it is. It reminds me of, like, this is me trying to remember the name of something again.
Yeah. I'm going to leave
You're not going to help me out this time? Oh, what is it? It's like, where they're, like, they're in a house, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about, goddammit. Like, it's all
House on the Prairie?
No. The one where it's British, and it's all it's like Jane Austen style and all that sort of stuff.
The Raid.
Yes, The Raid. You figured it out.
Right, okay.
You cracked the code.
No, it's not like The Raid.
Shockingly enough. Whatever. It sounds like it should be set in the Victorian era.
No,
and they're talking about prospective husbands.
Well, let me tell you what it is about.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like the Twilight Zone. It's like an anthology series where each episode is not related to each other, except in, like, the broad themes, which are, like, technology is getting so advanced that it's going to change the way we...
Yes, like the steam car and the electric motor.
No, not that kind of technology. Like social media and phones and etc. etc.
What is this, like, AIs. Documentaries about...
No, it's
humanity?
not documentaries. It's dramas. Like, the first episode starts off with the British Prime Minister being woken up by his advisors. And
because they're all robots now, and they've come to take over the British government, and therefore the world.
And a video has been uploaded to YouTube of...
him sticking his dick in the head of a dead pig.
We'll get to that. Of the beloved young princess... of the royal family has been kidnapped and is being held hostage.
By a robot.
And the kidnapper has only one demand, which is that at 4 p.m. the following day, the Prime Minister will go onto television on every channel and have sex with a pig.
Okay.
And then the princess will be released.
Isn't that something that actually happened though? Like the British.
Well,
do you think it was just a hilarious coincidence?
I think it was a hilarious coincidence, unless the writer of this show had some prior knowledge of the Prime Minister's proclivities. But yes, in his university days, the current Prime Minister of actual Britain put his Johnson in the mouth of a dead pig.
Yes. To join like a fraternity or something?
Yeah, one of those Eton thingamybobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think like the person who made this show was just like, I could not pay for this kind of publicity?
Probably, yeah.
It's just amazing. But surely in that situation, you just go, no, I'm not going to do that.
Well,
because you don't negotiate with terrorists.
People know what the demand is, and they know what's at stake. And basically...
But in no way would any real government official ever go, all right, I'll fuck a pig. You know? They'll just go, we will not bend to these terrorists.
Then if the princess is killed, and the video of her death is uploaded to YouTube for everybody to see, then the Prime Minister is going to look like an asshole who put his own personal dignity ahead of...
Yeah, but either way, your political career is over.
Yeah. He's fucked either way.
He's fucked either way.
Yeah.
So surely you go, no, I won't ruin any future possible career I could have by fucking a pig.
Wow, killing a princess is pretty bad too.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, that's
I can't see any way in which that ends well for the main guy.
And without spoiling anything, it does not end.
Probably not.
That's the premise of episode 1. Episode 2 is in a completely different
At any point,
scene.
Are there robots?
Not so far.
It's just missed opportunities left and right here.
For robots.
Yeah, for robots.
No, there's no robots so far. But,
you cannot look at any show and tell me that it cannot be improved by the addition of robots. Or in case there is already robots, more robots.
What about...
You got nothing?
No, I've got something.
Oh, you got something? Alright, lay it on me.
Most shows
would
not be improved by the addition of robots.
Absolutely. Tell me a show. Give me a name. Give me a name of a show that cannot be improved by the addition of robots.
Rome.
Rome?
Yeah.
Ancient...
historical drama about ancient Rome.
Yeah. Ancient steam-powered robots.
No, that would be stupid.
That would be amazing.
That would not be.
Yeah. No, come on. Give me another one. You've not got one yet. Rome would be absolutely improved. Deadwood?
Yeah.
Cowboy robots.
No. Not everything should have robots in it.
Absolutely everything should have robots in it.
Vikings.
Viking robots.
No.
Yes.
Downton Abbey.
That was the show I was thinking of. You bastard. I was thinking about Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
You cunt. It's like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's amazing.
That book was so bad.
I've not read it.
It was bad.
But it probably improved on Pride and Prejudice, which is a very dry read.
Well, a lot of people don't think so.
I will fight you to the grave on this.
Yeah.
Every show can be improved by the addition of robots.
No, you're incorrect.
I don't believe you.
Enjoy Doctor Who then, because Doctor Who is just every show with robots.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely not.
It totally is.
There's a bunch of shows.
They like go and have a western and then there's robots, and then they like go into space and there's robots, and they go back in time.
You can't say,
robots.
They go into space and there's robots. Of course, there's robots in space.
Not necessarily.
What, empty nothingness? Yeah. Would you prefer that?
It doesn't. Not everything needs robots.
Everything needs robots.
What I'm saying.
I'm not saying everything needs robots. I'm saying everything could be made better with the addition of robots.
No. That's not true.
That's absolutely true. I can make a strong argument for any show. Anyway.
What else is new in robot news?
In robot news, if only I could segue into a comic book I've been reading that included robots.
I thought you'd have all of these like robot items lined up.
I talked about robots once.
You know it could be improved with the addition of robots?
What's that?
Your next news item.
It is. I'm tempted to take a break, go onto my bookshelf and find a comic book that has robots in it just to prove you wrong. I could talk about Atomic Robo. Ha 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 ha. I will talk about Atomic Robo.
Go on then. No, talk about what you were going to talk about.
No, that's what I got listed
down. Robots
no.
in such a way that it makes it better.
I got... Well, shut up. Because now I'm going to talk about Atomic Robo instead of the other comic book I was going to talk about, which is something else I've been reading recently.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Atomic Robo is a robot.
Really?
Shockingly enough. Who was built by Nikola Tesla.
Is he powered by atoms?
Isn't everything in some way or another powered by atoms?
I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
Well, everything is made of atoms. So
Are
everything
you powered by atoms?
I sure
I
am.
call you Atomic Allan.
You could.
Well, maybe I should.
That'd be amazing if you did.
Yeah.
No. He was a robot who was made in probably the 1950s or something like that, by Nikola Tesla.
It's Nikola.
It's Nicholas.
I don't think it's just Nikola.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Every time we record this show and I edit the audio, I have to look up a list of topics, which makes me look up everything that I say as well as everything that you say.
Yeah.
And I'm wrong with names so often.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. A couple of times. You're a bit better than me because you know names, but you're wrong about things.
What you're saying is I'm the best.
Yeah, well, better with names than I am. Anyway, Nikola Tesla created this guy. The comic book is all about his adventures, with a group of adventuring scientists who go around the world and solve various mysteries, and it's very good. Yep. And it's sort of an ongoing series. It's set in modern time. Well, modern-ish time. So he's been around for hundreds of years at this point. Or 100 years.
It was made in 1950.
Well, I can't remember the exact dates, Russell.
Hundreds of years ago.
Thousands of years ago, he was made in ancient Rome.
Fuck off.
No, he's been around for a long time. And it's all about him, trying to have rights, but the American government is always well, if you go solve this ancient evil that's cropped up in Egypt, maybe we'll give you the rights of a normal person. And he's like...
the X-Men.
What?
Like the X-Men.
Like the X-Men?
They're always fighting for their rights.
They are true. There's a very loose tie in there.
I'm straining for comic book
tie. It's whenever we talk about comic books, Russell is always very politely sits there and smiles and nods at me.
Yeah.
But then he has nothing to add. He's got nothing to add to the conversation.
No.
Except taking a piece of information I say. It was alright, what about this then? Because you got nothing to add because you don't read comic books.
Pull back the curtain for
I'll
them?
pull back the curtain, mate. We really need to get a third person on here who knows a lot about Metal Gear Solid and movie names, author names and stuff like that, but also reads comics. Because then they could be the link.
But then they could just kick us off.
That's true, they could just run.
It'd be a one-man show.
It is a woman show. Maybe we should get some feminine energy on this podcast. Who knows? It's written by... Do you ever read webcomics? Did you ever read any webcomics?
I read Penny Arcade, and sad to say I read Control Alt Delete for a while.
Do you know of the webcomic Nuclear Power?
No.
No? It was this sprite comic that this guy did using the sprites from the very first Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
Sound familiar at all? Doesn't matter if it is, because I'm still going to talk about it. And it got very popular, but he could never publish the comics he made using it because obviously it's using copyrighted material.
Yeah.
So he started writing Atomic Robo. And that got popular, and now that comic is done, I think. So all he does is... One of the things he does is Atomic Robo. And it is very good.
Cool.
And you should read it.
Okay.
You won't read it.
No.
People should read it.
It'll go on my list.
If you
things I'm not going to read.
Things you're never going to read because for some reason you hate comic books.
I don't hate comic books. There's just only so much time in the day, in the week, in the month, in the year.
Are you going to keep going?
And eventually I'm going to die.
That's true. Yes.
And before that happens...
Unless you're Highlander. Are you Highlander?
I don't think so.
Have you ever had your head chopped off?
No.
Has anybody ever tried to chop your head off? Is that why you're living in the most isolated capital city in the world? Because you don't want to be found by the other Highlanders?
Maybe I hypnotized myself to forget.
You could. It wouldn't surprise me because you are a bit... you could claim that you come from Scotland.
Could I?
Well, you got the ginger.
I know the accent.
Well, maybe that's part of the hypnotism.
Oh, maybe.
We're through the looking glass.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Man, Blitzball is shit.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
Is that game in the Final Fantasy?
Yeah, it was a mini game in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I played that
Really?
because a friend of ours, Kerry, cosplays as like the one with all the lady with all the belts.
Oh yeah, Lulu.
Lulu, yeah, she cosplays her. So I was like, my computer broke and I couldn't play things on that, so I borrowed like a PS3 and then I went and bought like some games for it. And I was like, what am I gonna play? I was like, I like Final Fantasy. So I grabbed Final Fantasy X. I sat down and I started playing it. Oh, it's the worst game I've ever played. It was just so linear. It's like, I went through like all the introduction.
You said you liked Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, but eventually you get out of the starting area and then it's like, here's the world. Go where you like. Do what you want.
You did that in Final Fantasy X, but it takes like 30 hours or something.
Well, you can't though, because you don't get a ship, at which point you get to drive around and go wherever you want.
Don't you?
No.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
I'm sure when I left that game, I had an airship.
I'm sure you did, but it's not. There's not like a world map that you navigate.
You got me delving into my memory.
I'm telling you,
like over a decade.
It's like the exact reason why I put it down and was like, I'm done with that, is because I got rid of the starting area, and they're like, oh, here's the ship you can go on and go to different places and do exciting things in.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, sweet. And then just gave me a list of names of places I could go to. And I was like, you can either go here or these two other places. Then you just click them, and it's like, here you are, and you're there. And now you're wandering around the map, the actual game map instead of the world map. And I was like, I am done with this game. No more, thank you. Okay, so should we move on?
Sure.
Let's move on to Forced Review.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forced Review. Forced Review. It's a Forced Review. We're going to do a Forced Review.
Hooray!
Hooray! This is something you've been looking forward to.
Yeah, it's one Russell picked, so it must be good.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a few rules in regards to Forced Review. Do you want to list them off, or do you want me to list them off? Because I've been listing them off in the past. Maybe I should make you list them off. See how well you've absorbed this material.
Okay, yeah.
Go on.
The rules are that one person gives the other person something to review.
Correct.
And it can't be too horrible.
Yep.
And it must be easily available.
I regret letting you do this immediately. Yeah, go on.
And they have to give it a fair crack and then tell us what they think of it.
That was awful.
Those are the rules, damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't write them.
I feel I portray them better.
Wow. By all means.
As the guy who created it. No, that was a very arrogant thing for me to say. That's alright. So, do you want to tell everybody what you made me review?
Oh, yeah. I asked you to review the PC role-playing game, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Am.
It does sound like you're going Shadows of...
Shadows of Am. Well, it's spelled Amna. But it's not pronounced Amna.
Yes. So, I've been playing that.
Yeah.
Do you want to give any sort of background to it or anything like that?
Sure. It's from BioWare and Black Isle. I think it was made around 2000, thereabouts. Came out a couple of years after the original Baldur's Gate. And it's an Infinity Engine RPG, and if you know what that is, then you would be intimately familiar with Baldur's Gate 2.
I was going to say, if you're familiar with that, what, kudos? Chops? You got
kudos,
some chops?
Yeah, you get kudos from me. That may not mean much to you, but...
It means nothing to me.
From a top-down perspective, you control a party of 3D characters in a world of painted backdrops.
Right.
And it's based on the Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition rules, I think.
Possibly. It's old edition rules. I know that much.
It's got stuff like that.
Yes, Thaco. Do you know what Thaco stands for? Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
2-hit armor class 0.
Yeah. Which confused the hell out of me
when
I started playing this game.
That's why D&D doesn't use Thaco anymore.
It's so confusing because I've never played Thaco before because I don't think Neverwinter Nights even used Thaco.
No, that was on 3rd edition.
Yes, but I sat down and I started playing this and I got like the first set of armor and stuff like that, and I was just like, what? I started playing and I started equipping armor.
This armor class is lower.
But it says like armor class 8, but when I equip it, it says armor level 4 or something. It's like I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why is the normal leather armor giving me a worse armor, giving me a better armor class than like the banded metal armor. Yeah. This is so confusing. Well, that's part of my actual review. So yes, Baldur's Gate 2 review. Let's start at the beginning, which was the character creation, which was terrible.
You didn't enjoy sitting there for hours pressing reroll on your stats?
Not even that. It's like, I sat down and I was like, what am I going to make?
Oh, you wouldn't have even known about the strength.
What are you talking about? Shush. Well, we'll get to that when I get to it. Stop jumping the gun.
So many weird things.
I sat down and was like, what am I going to make?
Yeah.
I'm going to make like a monk.
Yeah.
Because I like monks.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a monk. For some reason, it wouldn't let me pick the class monk. Because I think that's only in like the expansion levels.
What race were you?
I was a dwarf.
Oh, you can only be human monk.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
So
it's not obvious at all.
And the first thing you do is pick your portrait.
Yes.
And I was like...
No, that's like the last thing you
No, it's not. Not in the one I was playing.
Okay.
Maybe it changed it up. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, portrait. That guy looks like a human monk. Sure. And then I like went down and I was like, no, I'll just be a dwarf. And so I was a dwarf fighter. And I was like, I didn't really think about it too much. And then I got to the skill set. And I was just like, oh, it didn't give me many points. And then I saw the reroll button.
Yeah.
And that became my world. For like the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. But what you got to remember is that you can put your intelligence and wisdom and probably charisma to 3 without any negative repercussions.
I sat there and I rolled for like 5 minutes until I got a skill point score of about 16 in every stat.
Yeah.
Which really helps in the game, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no.
It just curb stomped everything.
But the strength, what you don't know about 2nd edition strength, is that once you got to 18, if you were a martial class, you didn't just have 18. You had 18 and then a number out of 100.
Yes, yeah, no, I saw that. That confused the hell out of me. Because obviously I put it to 18 because I was a fighter.
Yeah.
Then it was like 18/83.
Oh, 83 is pretty good.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, but like, once you get past 18, like, having certain numbers in that second slot is like worth a whole extra point of strength.
Yeah, but what's the number?
I don't even remember exactly.
I don't know. It was so confusing. So much of this was so confusing to me.
No doubt.
But then I named my character.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what I called my character?
Sure.
I called him Bugnuts Ballbuster. And in my like little comment field is like, I am bug nuts about busting balls. And that was great.
I'm sure that will play well in the romance.
It really kicked me out.
I love you, bug nuts ball buster.
It really kicked me out of like, it was like, oh my god, this place is so horrible. They've been doing terrible things to us. Bug nuts ball buster, we got to get out of here. I was like, oh my goodness. But then I got to the end and I was like, oh, I should go change my portrait because I'm not a human monk anymore. Yeah. And then I started hitting the back button and I couldn't select just portrait.
Oh.
But if you go back, it undoes everything. But I didn't lose my points. So I was like, I got there and I was like, oh, I guess I'm just stuck with a portrait of a human monk now as a dwarven fighter. So that annoyed me a little bit. But re-rolling just makes you so much stronger and more powerful than everybody else.
And the game is balanced, assuming that you have re-rolled to become stronger. But if you have bad stats, you will just get creamed by everything.
Yeah, I did play it on like normal difficulty. I didn't ramp the difficulty up, but I didn't turn it down either.
No, well, normal is the way to play.
Yeah. I was tempted to put on easy just so I could really power through it and do the review, but I feel like it wouldn't have given me like a proper feeling of the game. I do have a lot of problems. I had a lot of problems, I should say, with the game.
Yeah. In terms of the interface or...
A lot of it, I had a lot of problems because I knew of Minsk and Boo.
Oh, yes.
Because...
Minsk and Boo are ready.
Yes. But even then, I was so much more powerful than him. Because his like max HP was like 55 or something.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter.
And I was like
1893
and I was like 112 or something. But I had equivalent strength to him. You know.
Yeah. Well, so, you are the main character.
I know. But he's like this big badass guy who busts cages open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was sort of dropped in the deep end at the beginning because it's just like everybody's just like, oh, it's me. We should get out of here.
Yeah.
I had no idea if I knew these people or not.
But they do give you conversation options to say, who are you? I don't remember you.
That's true.
Because your characters has had their mind
muddled with. Yes, and those are the ones I picked.
Yeah.
Which led to them going, it's me, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble at the beginning in regards, because I'm assuming it was just because I'm not used to the interface.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually like a tutorial on it.
There isn't. It really just throws you into the deep end.
Games these days walk you through every single command.
And I tried to I went to the help section, like a big question mark section. And all it did was show me a picture explaining what each of the menu options were.
Well, there you go. What more could you want?
That was it. That was all that was on there. And I tried my best to not, go Googling my problems, because that's not something you could have done. Really,
no, but the original game did ship with 100-page manual.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But I tried not to do that. Eventually, I did sort of get into it, and I started figuring it out and all that sort of stuff. At which point, I started having fun. But there was a long period at the beginning where every combat was just a mess.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out what to do. I got so angry with, the females, the sorcerer, the rogue chick. Imoen, yeah. I got so frustrated with it.
Why?
Because I could not figure out how to use any of the spells. I was just like, you have all these spells, but I can't cast any of them.
Did you have her wearing armor?
I had her wearing armor, Russell.
You can't do that back in the day.
I know, but it was very frustrating.
Yeah.
And I didn't figure that out until I Googled it. At which point I was nearly out of the dungeon.
Right.
At which point. I feel like magic was not that useful in combat.
Well, you just need to cast Fireball more often.
Well, yeah. But even then, regardless of what I did, pretty much every combat just became melee.
Yeah. There's a lot of hacking away at tree trunks.
But there's not really any other option. A couple of times I used the elven chick or whatever her name was.
Yeah, Jaheira.
To use, an entangle spell to tangle up a bunch of dudes. At which point, all the guys who are melee just put their swords away, pulls out bow and arrows, and just start wailing on me with the bows and arrows. Yeah. So it eventually just negated everything.
Yeah.
Because they all could use ranged weapons. And two of my people could use ranged weapons.
No, all of your people can.
No, they absolutely can't. The elven chick can't use ranged.
She can use a sling.
Yeah, but she can't use a bow. And I didn't have a sling. I didn't have a sling at that point.
You definitely get a sling at the start.
Whatever. The point is, the spells seem to not be that helpful. Maybe I just wasn't using them right. Maybe the fact that I almost cleared the entire dungeon before I could figure out how to do actual magic attacks with that chick.
I think I had a different experience with it. Because I played it when it came out, and all games had terrible interfaces back then.
Yes.
Nothing was ever clear. You had to work it out.
It was an hour or two of me muddling around trying to figure out how to combat works and stuff like that. At which point I figured out finally to go into the menu and turn pause on when things happen.
Yeah.
At which point I turned them all on, which was so frustrating. So it was Minsk is attacked, paused.
Yeah. No, you just gotta hover over the spacebar.
And I spacebarred, and it was target gone, paused.
Yeah.
And then I'd hit the spacebar. I was so-and-so is attacked now.
Yeah,
pause.
you don't want to turn off.
So-and-so is attacking now. Pause. Somebody has dropped their weapon. Pause. Yeah. So I had to figure out the good balance there.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm coming across very negative. I did have fun playing it.
Oh, that's good.
But will I continue to play it now that I have done the review?
Absolutely.
Probably not. But I did get into the situation where I kept picking up weapons. I went in with the mentality of hoarding weapons to sell.
Yeah, the classic RPG.
The classic RPG. Oh, everybody's giving me weapons.
Yeah.
I should hold on to this stuff so I can sell it later.
Yeah.
At which point, when I eventually got out of the dungeon, I found out that most weapons are worth, no money.
A couple of gold.
A couple of gold.
Yeah.
It's this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That aside, I kept picking up things that weren't identified. At which point, I didn't realize that my sorcerer chick had the ability to identify things because I couldn't cast any spells. Spoiler alert, after the main first area, she gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
At which point, I realized then, at that point, that I had 10 things in my inventory that weren't identified.
Yeah.
So all I did was reload until before that happened. And she can only identify things once before she needs to take a rest.
Well, some of them she can do with her lore.
Yes, but the ones that couldn't, I had 10 of them. Yeah. So I was just rest, identify one item.
Yeah.
Okay, rest, identify one item, rest. I ended up sitting there for 3 days in game time identifying all these things before I exited it and she got taken away from me.
You can just go to a temple and pay them a little bit of money.
Yeah, but even then.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Combat is messy, spells seemed unhelpful, I suppose, is the main takeaway from my experience of the actual fighting mechanic of the game. Potions seem entirely unnecessary in this game.
Well, that depends.
Because all that happened was I'd do a battle, and some people would get knocked down to like half health or whatever. So I was like, alright, we're out of combat. Let's rest for 8 hours.
See, this is where, you have to buy into the fantasy a bit.
Okay.
Because if you are willing to just sleep after every combat, then yes.
That's what I did. Well, for the most part, I did run around. I did drink potions and blah, 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 blah. But at one point, I set off a trap. And my main guy got poisoned.
Yeah.
At which point, that just didn't go away.
You have to cure the poison.
I didn't have any cure poison.
Oh, well, you're screwed.
I was screwed. So I just stood there, and it was like, every 2.5 seconds, he was like, And I was like, surely this will just time out, or I'll make a save versus poison or something like that. No, I ended up losing like 80 health to this damn treasure box that I decided to open. So all I did was I just reloaded and detected and disabled the trap.
Yeah.
Eventually, I leveled up, which seemed pointless because nothing really changed.
I lowered your Thaco.
It did lower my Thaco, but I didn't get to put points in anything or anything like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like, oh, you finally leveled up this thing you've been waiting for. You've gone from 1 to 2, or in game terms it was like 8 to 9 for some reason. I was already level 8.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, yep.
Yeah, that was one of the major issues with the old versions of D&D.
Yeah.
To my mind, anyway, is that it was a lot more interesting to be a wizard.
Because you learn new spells and stuff like that.
Like all the martial class ever gets is, you got some more hit points and you're hit slightly more often on your attack. Whereas the wizard's like, now you can like bend space and time and pull demons through from hell.
It did seem like if I had chosen to be a mage or something, it would have been more interesting to level up.
Yeah.
But as it was, it just felt like I didn't get rewarded for completing extra things to level up.
Yeah. Well, as a martial class, you level up by getting better gear. That's where the interesting stuff
I did have a cool sword. I defeated a demon and took his sword.
Nice.
I think I was related to him in some fashion.
I don't remember this.
Whatever. That's not important. Yeah. But I completed the main area, and I got out there, and my sister... She my sister? My sister got taken away. Half-sister.
You're both children of a god.
Yes. Because otherwise, the human... rogue / wizard and me, the dwarf fighter, would be very confusing. Yeah. She got taken away, at which point I was down anybody who could identify things or cast magic.
Yeah.
So that seemed like... I don't know how quickly you get her after that, because about then I stopped playing.
Not until like halfway through the game.
Oh, but so annoying.
You can get like at least 2 wizards in the first town.
Other than that, the voice acting was very good. It was very visually... Judging by like other games that probably came out around that time, it probably looked very good. Stunning. Yeah. It did surprise me to find out it came out in like 2000. It surprises me like that short a time ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah, but even then, that was amazing for something like that.
It's like PlayStation 1 times.
Yeah, but even then, some PlayStation 1 games are way better looking than this. Now, I understand that I didn't really delve into the open world or anything like that.
Yeah.
And all I did was complete the opening mission.
It's a very long game. You only had a week. I didn't expect you to beat the whole game.
I did put it off. I put off playing it. I will admit to that. I'll cop to that. Because...
Not so badly as I put off Detention of the Dead, which I watched as you were coming through the door.
Yeah, you are halfway through the movie to record the podcast. Yeah. But I would recommend it for people to play it. But I think a lot of it is nostalgia.
Oh, no doubt.
As someone who came in fresh, having never played it before, it didn't like blow my mind.
No. Well, that's right.
I can't like Neverwinter. I don't know if that was released at about the same time.
It was a few years after. Yeah. But it's a lot like visually prettier than Neverwinter Nights, I would say. Yeah, that was after the jump to 3D environments. But they were pretty basic, and
it did
looking
frustrate
back,
me.
they're kind of fuck ugly.
It did frustrate me that I couldn't rotate the camera or anything like that. That was Because, like, some of the tunnels in the dungeon, or where I first started, I was like, I didn't know where I was supposed to go, because it was, like, just a sliver of a line.
Yeah.
I was supposed to just represent a narrow hallway, and I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But eventually I got to the point where I went into a fight, and I just got stomped by a bunch of Draugr.
Oh, I know the fight. Yeah.
And so I, like, pulled a couple of guys away. I pulled the main guy away from the group, and we all ganged up on him and stuff like that. It did frustrate me playing, like, 6 people at once.
Oh, really?
That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to, like, other games where it's, like, you and maybe a companion.
No, I like the party system. You get to level up, like, 6 times.
I know. But I am more used to, like, those sort of games being, like, Neverwinter Nights or Beyond Might and Magic and stuff like that. Where it's usually just you, or you and a companion.
Yeah.
And
like
you're
Diablo.
running through. Yeah, like Diablo. Yeah. That would be a good equivalent for me to make a comparison to, as opposed to the other things that I said.
I'm here, I'll get you back.
Yeah. So, I'm sure it is very interesting. And I'm probably, if I had played it when it first came out, I'd probably be on the same level as you of excitement. But I never did. So, it's hard to look at it with raw eyes when I have other pretty games to play.
That's fair enough. How many antiquated interfaces would you give it out of 10?
Oh, God. How many... See, you got upset when I gave Turbo Kid, like, a 6 instead of a 7.
Oh, 6 seems harsh. 6 out of 10. That's like, I don't want to say it was terrible, but, yeah.
From the level of excitement I got out of playing this, that I did, and taking into factor that I only ever played the opening mission, I would give this a 6 out of 10. Oof. 6 to a 7. Or maybe, I'll be nice, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, you can give it what you like.
No.
It's a 10 out of 10 from me.
I will give it a 7 out of 10. Only because I can only expect that it got better since I got out of the dungeon and then I got the choice to go do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
So that gives it the extra point. So 7.
You got to have a castle.
Antiquated. You get a castle?
Yeah.
Oh man, definitely a 7 then.
It's like ruined, but then you build it up, make it better.
Meanwhile, your sister's in like a dungeon somewhere. It's like, no. I'll get there.
Sick castle.
I've got a sick castle for you to come to when I get back. Yeah. A lot of the references missed me as well because it was like, it is me, Minsk, and I was like, I know of you through popular media, but I've never met you before, my friend. So yeah, 7 antiquated interfaces out of 10.
Next force review will have to be Baldur's Gate 1.
Maybe.
So you can get all of the references.
How early does Minsk come into Baldur's Gate 1? Is he like right near the beginning?
He's pretty near the beginning.
Yeah? It wouldn't surprise me. He is a character.
Yeah, you are going... I don't know if you noticed when you first picked him up in number 2, but he was upset that his wizard friend had been killed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in number 1, you rescue her, and she becomes a party member as well, if you wanted to.
Yeah. I did run across a corpse in the dungeon. Everybody was like, oh my god, it's that guy, he's dead!
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no idea who that is, yeah.
Actually, it's amusing in number 1 because
Minsk's
wizard friend, Dinah here, is not a very good character. And there's another wizard character nearby who wants her killed. So they can't be in the party together.
Okay.
And this other wizard is evil and extremely powerful. His name's Edwin. And so all you have to really do is get Minsk to murder Dinah here and then recruit Edwin into your party. And you have the best of both worlds.
So you make Minsk kill his friend?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
He'll do it. And then he'll be really upset. But he won't acknowledge that he has murdered her.
He does seem like a crazy person.
He is a crazy person. Yeah.
I would have appreciated vastly a speed up function in the game, because quite often I had to cross the entire map and then cross all the way back again, which involved me just selecting everybody, clicking on them where I want them to be, and then just twiddling my thumbs for about 5 minutes while they trotted across the map.
Yeah, that's where you go and make a cup of tea. But you don't like hot beverages.
I don't like hot beverages. So, like a ×2 speed function would have been helpful in that regard.
That's a fair call.
But other than that, I suppose now we're going to move on to the thing that I'm going to make you play.
Play?
Yes, because you've given me a game, so I'm going to
play a video.
Yes, you can. We've had this argument before.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm going to make you play a game.
Okay.
I am. It's available on...
I'm going to make you play a game.
I'm going to make you play a game. I am going to make you play a game called Beyond Good and Evil.
Ah,
yes.
The Ubisoft classic that they deny having made.
Do they?
Yeah.
They started making a sequel.
Did they?
Yeah. Only because I think it's a great game, and I can't really think of a tie-in to Baldur's Gate.
Well, it's probably a 6 out of 10. So.
Beyond Good and Evil?
Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but...
You haven't played it, though.
I just get a feeling.
So that is what you're going to play.
Cool.
Okay, so I think it's time we wrap this up, because I think we've angered enough people in regards to my opinion on Baldur's Gate 2.
Oh, no, I'm sure there are plenty of youngins who are on your side.
I don't think they're our demographic, though.
No?
No. The amount of old stuff we talk about. We spent like 5 minutes last week talking about various Neverwinter Nights modules.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that'll hit the youth of today.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening. If you'd like, you can go to our website at popculturepontification.weebly.com. On there, we will have the show notes and probably also reviews and stuff of various things.
Probably.
We
haven't written them yet.
Well, no, you're going to, though.
I am?
Yeah, because you're the guy who's got experience reviewing things.
Great.
In writing.
Okay.
So now I've put the onus on you to do that. So now you're going to feel pressured to do it, which is great.
You can also read Allan's new webcomic. What's the title of your webcomic, Alan? It's
still in development phases, yeah. But it'll happen.
And his web video series will follow soon.
I could just repost the web series I've already done, Russell. So suck my dick.
You can find us on Twitter at popculturepon or on Facebook at facebook.com/popculturepontification.
You always treat it like it's such a fucking mouthful to say those things. You're like at popculturepon.
Popculturepon. You need to get those pops.
You gotta get the pop. Stop that. I gotta edit those out, you bastard.
Enjoy that in your ears later.
Okay, so I think that's all we got time for. So I think we should have you come on back next week for another episode of Pop Culture Pontification.
I sure will, Alan.
It's always, you can never let me have the highlight at the end of the show.
Go on,
You're always gonna, no,
Give
now.
the last
Well,
word.
now, it's
Give
too
him
late
the
now.
last word.
But you put me on the spot, Russell. I couldn't think of what else to say.
No, butts.
Butts is the last word. It's pretty good.